and welcome to HawkTalk. It's my Hawk's Geek Culture podcast where we talk about geek stuff, nerdy stuff, and all sorts of awesome. My name is Danny Shepard, and joining me as always is my lovable band of goons, starting with Tony Smith.
What it do, baby boo?
Jeremy Lee.
Sign a kind of doty chody.
And Noel Shefflin.
Woo-wop to bam.
So, before we get into this week's episode, if you guys like the show, be sure to support us over on Patreon. It helps out a lot. We're actually revamping to new tiers starting on the 17th, I believe. Yeah, the 17th of this month. So January 17th.
Yeah, but how do you know?
Because I'll be the one who's updating it manually. That's how I know. So basically, we are introducing a ton of awesome new perks. So if you guys want to check that out, come back on the 17th. It's going to be really awesome, and there's going to be a lot of sweet new perks for you guys.
Sweet treats.
Yeah, so just to really quick give you guys a little bit of news about HawkTalk. We've been talking about some big changes coming. Big changes. So to shed some light on that, since we are on episode 98, episode 100 is 2 episodes from now. Episode 100 drops on January 17th. And that is going to be a big day for the channel. It's going to be a big day for our second channel. It's going to be a big day for HawkTalk. So we will be unveiling our brand new studio, our brand new setup that is still a work in progress because this sort of thing is expensive and takes time. But you'll see a dramatic improvement thanks to Hal and Jeremy, who have been building our studio from scratch. Literally, setting up all the lighting fixtures, building a new table, building all the new stuff to make this a really, really special show for you guys. And the big change, the one that I think a lot of you have been wondering or waiting for or not really caring about until this very moment is that HawkTalk is moving to the second channel. So before everybody freaks out and gets mad and says that's a terrible idea, we've been thinking about this a long time. We have been talking about moving HawkTalk over to the second channel since we started HawkTalk, and we believe that episode 100 is the best opportunity to do that. It is a benefit for both channels. It helps separate both channels. So you're going to have Esmahawk TV, which is going to be mostly it's going to have our vlog series. It's going to have equipment and gear reviews. It's going to have all the unscripted content that many of you who are tuning into this show actually enjoy. So HawkTalk, Off the Rails, which is Tony's new show, and the Isma Vlogs, which if you're a fan of our behind-the-scenes content and our HawkTalk tomfoolery, well, the Isma Vlogs are a combination of both of those. So those are going to be really fun. We got a couple great episodes coming with that where we're going to explain what Ismahawk means for those of you guys who don't know. We're going to show like some clips from some old videos that we did pre-Ismahawk stuff and a lot of cool stuff coming. Anyway, so starting January 17th, HawkTalk is moving over to Ismahawk TV. Please, guys, please follow us over there. Please continue to support us like you have been. Please go over and subscribe to Ismahawk TV. Link is in the first line of the description. It'll be super easy for you guys to do. Hit that link. Go subscribe to Ismahawk TV. And we'll see you next week when we'll hopefully have Jamie Costa on the show.
Oh, hell yeah.
So hopefully if everything goes well, we'll have him on the show next week. And then starting episode 100, we're going over to Ismahawk TV. And we'll also be launching Off the Rails and the Isma Vlogs the same exact week. And then you guys will see a consistent weekly schedule for all 3 shows moving forward. So remember, HawkTalk is still coming out every single Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so you can still catch it every single Tuesday. If you're listening to the audio, nothing's changing. But if you're watching the video, if you want to continue watching the video and see our sweet new studio setup, tune in on January 17th on Ismahawk TV. Please subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Let's get into the show. Sorry about the long-winded preview. So a lot of stuff going on. A
lot of things.
Did we want to talk about the Ben Affleck thing first?
Yeah. Who is Ben Affleck?
Yeah, that is. I think.
Who is Ben Affleck?
Look at these 2 morose No, sorry, my bad.
Okay.
So from what we understand, there's a lot of talking about whether Ben Affleck is going to be directing the standalone Batman film, right? Mm-hmm. But it was confirmed for a while, and then in an interview with The Guardian, they asked Ben Affleck about the script, and he was like, well, I mean, if it's not perfect, we're not going to do it. And prior to that, he said that there was no script and it's not ready yet. Mm-hmm. And then, which contradicts what Joe Manganiello said, who's playing Deathstroke in I believe, Justice League and The Batman. And he said that they're filming this spring. So everything is a little bit up in the air. I think, this is.
Well, if they're filming in the spring, they still have time to finish the script. So that makes sense that the script isn't finished. I mean, it would make sense
It
that...
depends on what you mean by finished.
Right.
True.
Because scripts are usually worked on up until almost the day of shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Certain
They're still
scenes,
worked.
that
And
is.
they're worked on while shooting too.
Yes.
So.
Totally.
But Ben Affleck could also be downplaying like every single detail because he doesn't want to commit to any kind of answer.
True.
Right.
Which I guess, I mean, he's been in the business a long, long
Yeah, he
time,
knows
so
what
he
he's
knows his way around
I think
the rodeo.
specifically with this kind of project, I think that is probably your best option at this point. I think he kind of...
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, even if he is downplaying, like you're saying, Jeremy, I think that's a very good idea because this is Batman.
True.
I mean, and he's played Batman in a prior film, and I feel like he kind of had a little bit of a traumatic experience. I mean, I know I had a little bit of a traumatic experience. I'm still
I mean,
having
you can
a little
see
bit of
his reactions with the way he reacted to the reception of Batman v Superman in his interviews.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Most
So
def,
he wants...
featuring Common.
Shut up. Yeah. So he wants this movie... He definitely wants this movie to be perfect. So.
Do you guys think that there's a part of this is possibly to let the studio know, stop rushing me? Because even in interviews, he's like, well, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. To maybe make the studio be like, wait, what does he fucking mean by that? Wait, what does he mean by that? Everybody at
Warner Brothers
Warner
is like panicking. I was like,
What?
what?
What do you mean? Hey, Ben Affleck just said he might not be doing the movie.
everybody keeps working. Well, is no one listening to me?
His publicist is behind the camera. Is like, no, stop.
Just stop talking, Ben.
Ben, stop talking.
Well, no, I mean, maybe that's a way for him to say, hey,
That's him sending a message.
yeah, maybe he's sending a message to the people in charge saying, like, I will not be bullied into a deadline. Let me be perfectly clear.
You will not bend me.
Yeah, you will not bend Affleck me. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about that? You think that's a possibility? Maybe he's trying to play that game?
Most definitely a possibility.
I mean, it's hard to say, dude. Like, I think it's definitely.
I definitely think he
probable.
is playing the game.
Yeah, I think it's probable that he could be doing something like that.
He's a big enough actor and a big enough director now to be that ballsy.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
other people who are involved with the project, not like it's a big team, so not everyone is up to date on every single move.
Yeah.
So if someone like Joe Manganiello drops a hint that they're going to be probably shooting in spring, that's probably the talk, and it's already planning.
Yeah.
Because like with Michael Shannon and Batman v Superman, like he dropped a hint that like I'm cameoing, like I'm returning as my character, and he has some weird flipper hands or whatever, and then people are like, wait, what? You're saying, so you're hinting that Doomsday? It's like, no, what? So it's like I didn't realize what I said.
Yeah.
So
True.
he wasn't exactly on the same page as everyone else. It's like, oh no, don't mention that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that in general, people take the word of actors a little bit too literally and seriously. These
Yeah,
guys are
they
getting
read in-
paid to lie to you.
Exactly. They
For a
read into
living.
every like these people read into everything that these actors are saying. Just like
Yeah, because the actors on big studio projects like this who are supporting characters, they're usually not in the meeting room, the production meetings
Yeah.
with them. Like they just hear from word of mouth from their agent or through the
Manager
grapevine.
or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like they're up to date on every single piece of information too.
true. Very true.
Yeah. I mean, that totally makes sense. I'm very curious. This isn't really like a major piece of news. I just keep seeing these articles floating around that say, here's top 5 directors who can direct Batman. It's just like, why are you guys posting it? Clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Client trying to clickbait people into thinking that Ben Affleck walked when he didn't. He didn't even imply that he was going to
No.
walk.
That's just how the media takes it.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Do you guys want to transition over to Aquaman?
Aquaman.
A lot to talk about here. We
So
haven't really
you
spent
heard
too
some
much time.
news, Noel.
Yes. So I heard some news specifically about the Aquaman movie that apparently they acquired the stunt team behind Mad Max Fury Road for their underwater sequences.
Yes, they are based in Australia, and I saw the little like local news segment on that, and it was insane because like showing the footage of them training for Mad Max and stuff like that, like okay, they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're
they know-
serious business.
Definitely.
It's crazy. So having them, and they're doing the stunts for underwater fight scenes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa,
I wonder what
bro.
those are going to look
That
like.
sounds absolutely terrifying. Shooting
True.
a fight scene underwater.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
You can't breathe.
True.
It's
That
not
sounds
easy.
So
It's not easy. I mean, that underwater scene for
Suicide
Skyfall.
Squad? Oh, Skyfall. I thought,
Suicide
I
Squad?
thought you were talking about the car crash scene.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I was actually gonna say like just little scenes that take place underwater like that, like not even 2 or 3 minutes long, and it takes so long to
Yeah.
plan and just
Yeah.
shoot out.
yeah,
Like takes weeks to do
Yep.
that.
Ridiculous.
yeah. Underwater, it's a
And they're
whole
shooting
thing.
whole fight scenes underwater.
Yeah.
It's
Shooting
like
an entire
what?
movie underwater, bro. The entire
man.
movie's underwater.
I imagine most of the underwater stuff will be CG, but
Probably. Well, they had a
Ghost
pool.
I mean,
for,
I wouldn't know.
they had a pool for Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
A big pool.
Wait, for what?
For
No, not Justice League. Aquaman's cameo in Batman v Superman. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
That was there was a behind the scenes footage of Jason Momoa.
Oh, yeah.
In a giant green screen pool.
Man, I want to
for
do some
Batman v
underwater
Superman.
cinematography. That'd be crazy. Maybe we should do an underwater video sometimes.
Next level, man. So, do they actually bring the camera underwater, or do they have? Is it like an out or like an above ground pool, and they have like a plexiglass, and the camera's
It
like
depends
watching
on the
from-
shot, but most of the time it's underwater.
Yeah, I figured most of the time it's underwater, but I feel like technology's so advanced right now that if they built an above ground pool, they could probably just have the camera on the outside.
It's
of the
more
pool as well.
expensive to do an above ground pool because that's a lot of plexi and glass.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's easier just to dig a hole and then paint the walls black,
Yeah.
which is usually the case.
Yeah.
True. Makes sense.
I know Pinewood in Atlanta and in, I think London has a location where it's like one of the biggest filming pools, indoor pools in the world.
Wow.
And it's, I think the scale, like to give you perspective, it's like as big as the pool from SeaWorld where you keep the whales in.
Oh wow. Really?
It's a big
Jesus.
pool.
That is a big pool. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
so like, and they paint all the walls, like the interior black, so underwater, you literally, like, you can't see, you don't know where it ends. So it
Interesting.
feels like an ocean.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's terrifying.
That's also terrifying as well.
Indeed.
Still not out there.
So there's more Aquaman news, isn't there? I mean, it's not like as timely, but we haven't really talked about it at all, and
yeah.
we haven't even really talked about it with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orm and Black Manta and Mira, like
Yeah. Amber Heard as Mira, Patrick Wilson as Orm, and they haven't announced Black Manta.
You know what's
who
interesting
casted.
is that Patrick Wilson did the voice of the President of the United States in Batman vs Superman.
What?
That's awesome.
I did not know that.
Zack Snyder.
loves recycling his actors.
He
Yep.
loves.
Yeah, it was just
yeah,
like
he
a
loves doing
voice
that.
on the phone.
I don't see it as recycling. You're just working with people you're comfortable working
Yeah,
with.
for
That's
sure.
with any movie, with any director.
Yeah, we just see I mean, I think almost everyone from Watchmen has appeared, right? So far in the DC Extended Universe? No, it's only been like 2. That was
No,
a
it's a pretty
dramatic
handful.
exaggeration on my part.
Yeah, a handful.
Because Patrick Wilson,
No, not dramatic. No, one
Jeffrey
of
Dean
them,
Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
You have the dad now for Flash was Dr. Manhattan.
right?
Yes,
right,
true.
right. Yeah, yeah. I was like, I saw him.
Yeah.
I saw Dr. Manhattan was
Billy
somewhere.
Crudup?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you say?
Billy Crudup as Henry Allen.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Who else? Anybody else?
So we still haven't had Malin Ackerman. We
Patrick
haven't had.
Wilson.
What? Wait, wait.
Night Owl. Did you already say Night
Yeah,
Owl?
I said
Okay.
Patrick Wilson, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Billy Crudup.
Mm-hmm.
And we still haven't seen Malin Ackerman. What's her name? She was in Sin City.
Dang it, I don't remember. But so apparently the relationship between Orm and Arthur Curry, Aquaman, in the movie will be kind of like the relationship between the dynamic between Thor and Loki. And because if you guys don't know, well, I mean, I'm sure you guys know, but Orm is Aquaman's half brother.
Yeah.
They share the
This is
same
Arm.
mother. What?
What?
Okay. They share the same mother, and apparently the movie will be dealing with that relationship where Orm is jealous of Aquaman being, coming back to Atlantis, lost city of Atlanta.
I always love movies that deal with brothers. So I'll be into that.
And
for
then
sure.
the main villain will be Black Manta, which they still haven't announced who is cast for that yet. Which they might have not even casted him yet.
Black Manta. Hearing that Black Manta is in the movie was
Yeah.
actually a bit shocking in the beginning because I was like, oh,
It makes
really?
sense to me that they would use him because he's like the most famous Aquaman villain. And since they want to destroy this Aquaman stigma,
Yeah.
they start
Start
out
strong.
strong.
True.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That makes sense. It's just like, damn, dude, I'm surprised they didn't save Black Manta for the second movie and they didn't use like Orm Ocean Master as the main
Yes,
villain.
They don't want to risk having like burning people more and be like, oh, sorry, we didn't use Black Manta. You can see him in the next movie though, and people are like, no, I'm not going to
That's
see any
true.
more
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, people want to see Black Manta. And
Yeah.
I respect that. I actually didn't even draw the parallel between Orm and Arthur Curry and Thor and Loki. That did not even cross my mind until the moment you said it. And it's like, it's so blaringly obvious that how did I not even
Oh yeah,
put together that is like,
because Orm has been he's been on the throne.
Yeah.
And then Arthur Curry comes out of nowhere from the human world and be like, hey, this is my throne now. Sorry, I'm the firstborn.
This is my throne now, bitch.
and then Orm's
my
like,
throne.
I'm the Ocean Master now. And then they fight.
They fight.
Okay.
Yeah, fisticuffs.
Throw down some fisticuffs.
Apparently, another rumor about Aquaman, not about the Aquaman movie, but about the character of Aquaman. I guess in the first half, I don't know if it's the first half of Justice League, but initially he will be reluctant to join the team, and there will be a supposed battle.
Sounds like a very
To get-
Wolverine
in order to get-
Wolverine character.
Yeah, definitely.
You still haven't seen the trailer, have you? Mm-mm. Yeah, that's obvious if you watch the trailer.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
the first thing
Speaking of trailer, there's supposed to be a new trailer this month as well.
of Justice League? Interesting.
Oh boy.
Um,
I mean, it's coming out the end of this year.
Yeah.
It is now 2017, guys.
shit.
True.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. Yeah, in the trailer, you actually see the way the trailer begins. Like, I really do suggest that you watch it because you can tell they shot like 3 scenes.
Just for
and
this.
well, they shot 3 scenes and then they literally just took little snippets from each scene.
Gotcha.
And because it's literally snippets from the same scenes over and over, but it doesn't show anything. It shows like it starts with Ben Affleck narrating like he's talking to someone. He's like, "Oh, I heard rumors about this man who comes
mean
out of
Bruce
the ocean."
Wayne?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, sorry, I said Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Ben
Bruce
Affleck's
Wayne's
playing
like,
The
himself.
same person.
Bruce Wayne's like, there's a story about a man who comes to this small fishing town and brings fish and all this stuff. And he's like, you know where I can find him or something like that? And something like that.
Gotcha.
General thing.
Leads to Khal Drogo.
And leads to Khal Drogo, turns around and says, talk. And he's got these like piercing blue like shark eyes.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
Hella Marilyn Manson.
yeah. And he's like basically Marilyn Manson is like a pale blue instead of white.
Okay.
And he's like talk. And then I don't think we see anything else from there, do we? We just see Aquaman slam Bruce Wayne into the wall.
Yeah.
Like
Damn.
this large wood wall. It was crazy. Yeah, it looks crazy.
That's
And
awesome.
the
You hear
trailer-
this cool sound.
Yeah, and the trailer ends with Bruce Wayne looking at Arthur and he's like, so I hear you can talk to fish. And then smirks like a sarcastic asshole.
As Bruce Wayne does.
Yeah, and you're just like, I love Bruce Wayne that he can be so arrogant to Aquaman. Who
When
could
Aquaman
literally
can
rip him in
Yeah.
half.
It was very much physically superior. That's hilarious. That's awesome.
There's a little bit of banter as well between Wonder Woman and Bruce, where you see like right after that scene where she's like, he's like, yeah, he's a maybe, and then she's like, he's not interested. He's like, no, he's not interested. And it kind of gives you an idea of the humor that you're gonna get from Justice League, and it's like. Yeah, it's like they're being funny, but they're not being.
I wonder if it's just the way the
stupid funny.
trailer's cut. The dialogue's still there.
Yeah.
But you know how like you can take the dialogue out of context and it feels completely different?
That moment was the delivery was clearly comedic.
Yeah. But I wonder in context of the entire scene and like, is it gonna land?
Oh, who knows?
Who
I
knows?
guess I really don't. I think it would be foolish of them to overdo the humor.
Agreed.
I think it would be like, don't overcompensate, guys. Like, a little bit of humor is good. Add a little bit, pepper it in, but don't jam it down our throat. Like, hey, look how funny we are. We're funny. We're funny now. This is fun now.
God.
Oh wow!
If guys are not watching the video, Danny just proceeded to get up and show how one would ram comedic value down someone's throat on Noel.
Yeah, it was great.
It was sensational, if I could say so myself. Being an audience member of that whole situation,
Yeah.
it sucked.
You suck.
No, I lick.
Personally, I'm really excited for Aquaman. I think
too.
I think that it's going to be probably very similar but very different to the comic books.
It's interesting that Aquaman is slated to come out after Justice League. Like that's the first solo movie after Justice League. Because
I actually didn't know that.
yeah, it comes out
He's got some
2018, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
And then Justice League is the end of 2017,
Yeah.
and then Batman possibly 2019.
Batman.
But if
Batman and Flash 2019. Oh my God, what a year!
yeah,
dude.
what a year!
What a year!
When's the next Superman movie coming out? Does anybody know?
I don't-
We haven't
Tomorrow?
heard anything, right? Yeah, I didn't think so.
No official.
No offish.
nothing. No, not even any rumors for months.
No
Wait,
totes of fish.
if Batman is slated for 2018 and 2019, and they're planning on shooting in spring 2017, that makes complete sense, and that's an ample amount of time for post.
for sure.
That's a while.
Yeah, I mean
ample
that's good.
That's
Which
ample,
means
that's a stretch.
that he's clearly not rushing it.
Yeah.
He's
That's a
literally
while.
putting his foot down on
Yeah.
Warner Brothers' neck
That's
and
good though. I mean,
saying, "Don't rush me, fool."
don't rush me, okay? Don't do it. He said it just like that.
Don't
I
rush.
bet for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There are rumors that the Speed Force is going to play a part in Justice League as well.
I mean, it makes sense since Flash popped up out of nowhere in Batman v Superman and it wasn't explained.
Hella BVS, Dawn of S, Dawn of J.
What?
That sucked.
D of J.
Shut up. Shut
I
up.
really don't understand how anybody watching that movie couldn't have been confused.
Yeah.
You know, could not have been confused there.
I'm confused.
If it was an after credit scene, that would make more sense. There's a
Yeah.
little leeway there.
It's like when they showed Thanos at the end of Avengers, and 99% of the audience was like, "Who the hell is that guy?"
It's like that.
Yeah,
right.
but then they didn't like make a big deal out of it because
Who's
it
that?
was at the end.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
after credits.
Who was that purple smirking
Who's
thing?
that guy?
That's Josh Brolin.
That's Josh.
It wasn't even Josh.
It wasn't
Brolin.
Josh
No.
Brolin.
It wasn't.
That's
Have you noticed how good
hilarious.
the CG has gotten since then?
Oh yeah.
Like Thanos' CG actually kind of sucked at that point, and then
Yeah.
it's like then you see him in Guardians, and you're like, "Ooh, it looks nice."
Hey.
Yeah, didn't they only show like just a sneak?
Extreme close up.
Yeah. Oh, because it didn't model
was
the
like a
rest of the body.
profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
True.
a profile of him just kind of like, he
And
like
turns
turned
around,
his
he's like-
head, yeah.
Yeah. No. What? That's disgusting.
That was the end of Avengers. I literally did it exactly how it was in the movie.
if you get a chance, please just watch what Danny did.
It's
Yeah.
ugly.
Screen cap my face there and then put it right next to Thanos from Avengers. You're gonna see that they're almost exactly alike in every way.
Photoshop that ugly face on a full scale of
Beautiful
Thanos.
face.
I hate it. Hate it. Hate you.
Suck.
They'll do it too.
I know they will, because you guys are sweet, beautiful people.
It's true. They are. What's the next one, guys? Or is there any more info about Aquaman?
No.
I feel like, how does everybody like? I feel like this Aquaman's gonna be kind of like a diamond in the rough, kind of like our own little secret great movie on the DC side of things. Like I feel like a lot of people are gonna be really surprised.
Yeah.
I
by
think
this
people
movie.
are actually gonna go watch it.
I think it's gonna be
Just for Jason Momoa.
I think there's gonna be.
I guess we'll find out.
Jason
Yeah.
Momoa.
Yeah.
So you don't
Momoa.
think Justice League will make it?
I think Justice League will be great because I'm a DC fan, but I don't think everybody's
Fair.
going to think that, right? But I do honestly think that Aquaman has.
I mean,
the
even
potential.
good Marvel movies, there's still the haters.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so it's like I really don't know how other people are going to feel, right?
It's not just like, oh yeah, even on the good Marvel movies there are the haters, but it's also like
They're
there's a
actual
difference
good films.
between like people being haters and then people like the general audiences not liking something from start to finish. Like general audiences did not like Suicide Squad. That is a fact. You look at people's reactions, you look at at the. I mean, like generally people went and spent a lot of money on the movie, but like general audiences did not like that movie. A lot of DC fans liked it, but then there were a lot of like DC fans who fucking hated it.
Yeah, true.
So
Of
like
course,
they comment about it all the time, letting us know how much they hated it or how much they liked it.
True.
But I'm curious if Justice League is bad or does not sit well with general audiences.
I'm very nervous.
How do you think?
The rest of their slate is gonna do.
How do you think Aquaman is going to do? Even if it's good, even if it's
Yeah.
good.
That's-
Well, here's the thing. A lot of movies now are word of mouth. Like people go out to see it just because they hear it's good, even though they know nothing about it. So if Aquaman is good, word of mouth will spread, and people will go see it. But it won't be anywhere near as like it won't do anywhere near as well as it would have done if Justice League does really well.
And also, if people like Aquaman in Justice League, they'll be.
Oh yeah. This really has. We have a lot of.
There's so many variables.
really like
We have Wonder Woman coming before Justice League,
Yeah.
so
scary ground here,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, it's
It's the same
a little
situation
nerve-wracking.
though. If Wonder Woman is bad,
Yeah.
But I feel like
then Justice League is going to
my
have its
God.
work cut out for itself. And
I'm
if
feeling
Justice
sick just
League
thinking about
is
this.
bad,
I think Wonder Woman has a better chance of being good than Justice League.
throw up.
Yeah, and we're just the fans.
my
Like,
God, I think I'm
imagine
gonna throw
what
up.
the producers and executives are like sitting in their offices.
I don't
like,
want to. I don't.
oh my God, their
don't.
blood pressure must.
I mean,
be
Tony
through the
has no
roof.
imagination.
I
so.
don't. Yeah. I
You know
don't,
what the
actually.
easiest way? You know what the easiest way to make sure your movies are financially and critically successful?
Make a good movie.
You just stop rushing it.
Yeah. No. It's,
I am
yeah.
convinced that any movie can be a good movie if you
That's
spend enough
easier
time on
said
it.
than done. Like we talk about it every single day for our channel. We just gotta make stuff. We just gotta make a video. Like
Yeah.
if you don't stay consistent, and this applies to Hollywood too.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't work out too well.
I always, when I think about a large film, ensemble film like Justice League, it gives me anxiety because you have to have such a massive team, and that massive team has to be so committed and so on the same page at all times that if you lose that fire and that ambition and that drive within that, God, however long you're shooting, and then on top of that post, there's a very good chance that you could just lose steam and the movie takes a hit for it.
But that being said, though, like there was a 3-year gap in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and that did not slow The Dark Knight down at all.
That's an anomaly.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. And
It's
don't
not
talk
normal.
to me about Pixar movies being in that category
That's
too.
different. That's
that
different.
takes 10 to 15 years
Yeah.
to develop.
That's completely different. Yeah.
I don't know if that's an anomaly because when did Spider-Man 1 come out? 2001. When did Spider-Man 2 come out? 2004? Or was
Yeah.
it 2003? Can someone Google it right now?
Goog it. We're googing it. Stand by.
But I can tell you for a fact that Spider-Man 3 I don't think came out until 2007 or 2008. Which that's
2008.
9 years for 3 films.
Spider-Man came out 2002.
Okay?
Spider-Man 2 came out 2004.
Okay. 2
Spider-Man
years.
3 came out 2007.
Okay, so 3 years. So that's the same thing. I mean, Spider-Man 3...
There's like 3 years in between the prequel trilogy of Star Wars.
That blows my mind because Spider-Man 3 sucked. That is craziness.
yeah.
So you got 3 years in between
3 years.
The
Again,
pre-
there's
the
so
prequel-
many variables for
prequel,
this.
but then you also have like Two Towers and Two Towers and Return of the King, which were filmed back to back, and one
That
can
was-
argue that those movies
we're
are fucking
yeah,
brilliant.
that-
So
But
those
they
are,
were shot back to back. Like they shot all
they
those
never
films at
stopped.
once,
Yeah, they
right?
never stopped shooting until they were done.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, you lived on Middle Earth. If you were on that set and you were like a main character,
Dude, could you imagine? Oh my god.
dude, the
by
crew gets T-shirts that says day 100, day 200, day 300.
that's dope, dude.
yeah.
Dude, they were
and for The Hobbit, it's day
They were on
500.
set for a year, dude. That's
More than a
crazy.
year.
Oh my god.
And they're set, and
Day
their video.
500 is that on top of Lord of the Rings?
No, that's The Hobbit.
They
Hobbit.
spent 500 days on The Hobbit.
Something
500
like that.
days of Hobbit.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that. Okay.
500 days
Anyway,
of
like
Hobbit.
in
Not-
500
Imagine
days
that-
of Smeagol.
Imagine that in New Zealand where they were shooting and their video village, their home base is literally a village in itself with all of these makeshift
you
homes
live
and trailers.
in the Shire.
Yep.
You
That-
shower
that's true.
in the Shire. You sleep in the Shire. You eat in the Shire.
You are.
You are the Shire. And what's the one
The
rule
Shire,
about the
the
Shire?
Shire.
You don't talk about the Shire.
What the fuck just happened?
What did just happen,
All right,
dude?
guys, I'm gonna have to sign off. I gotta go take care of this little baby. Apparently, she's screaming at Carissa, and I have to go take care of it because Carissa's gotta go night-night.
All right, dude.
Hashtag parenting.
Hashtag parenting. Hashtag I'm a dope ass dad.
Hey, tell Indy I said what's up.
I will. I'll say, hey yo, no said what's up.
And she's just like,
What's up, girl? What's up,
Continue
girl?
screaming.
it's easier said than done, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, you know, you're trying to build a universe of films, so maybe just take the time to build the first film, build all the films. I mean, like, build all the films.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, take the 3 years or whatever, however long you need, and take the time, build the universe, and then execute.
I mean,
because-
I imagine that's the amount of time they're taking to build each movie. It's just stacked.
Yeah.
And it's a different team for each movie.
My thing is like it's not even DC's problem. It's just it feels like superhero movies in general just have way too many characters now. Like way too many characters without having already established other ones. I don't know. It's just there's just too much. Specifically with like Suicide Squad, Apocalypse. Like there's just too many characters in these movies.
Yeah.
Well, how would you do an ensemble film? What's an example of an ensemble film that does it well?
Rogue One.
Yes. Oh my God.
Rogue One, the first X-Men movie. X-Men 2.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait. How many characters in total that are well developed? Rogue One has 5, 6.
What do we mean by well developed? Because
Like we get why they're there, their motivations, and they feel like they weren't shoehorned in. Like if you took them out, the story would change.
Right.
if you took
Because
them
Rogue
out-
One, if you took any of those characters out, the story wouldn't have worked,
True.
or it would have needed some very hard finagling.
Yeah, exactly.
the only character that I think could have been taken out was Chirrut's machine gunner boy.
I don't think so. Because
I
without
think he's
him,
the only one you could argue that you could mold the story to work without him.
Yeah,
I-
I'm
I
sure
don't
there's
think-
a way you can come up with combining those two characters
Yeah,
into one.
I don't think that
It wasn't-
taking him
it
out would have
wouldn't-
made the movie better.
Right. But
no.
But he's the only one that I think one can
if you
argue.
if you fused Baze's character and Chirrut's character together, I don't know.
I don't think you would fuse them together. I think you would have put another character, a less big character, like just like a background character in Baze's position, and all the same bits could have occurred just with a side character or a character that didn't need any development, because we didn't get too much from Baze.
No, because if you did that, if you just switched Baze out into a smaller background character and used the same bits for that, then you're not getting the same development for Chirrut, because the development for Chirrut and Baze is the fact that they're together.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Because what I'm saying is that the film, if you could cut him out and replace him with other characters, but it still wouldn't make the film better. Like, he's the only one that I think you could argue you could take out. Because, like, what do you know about him besides the fact that he is, like, a guardian of the Jedi Temple?
He's a guardian of the Jedi Temple, and you get his demeanor because of the way he interacts with Chirrut. Like, he is a very jaded person, and he doesn't... Like, he knows the Force is there. He probably does, like, still... He acknowledges the Force. He just doesn't really believe in it because of everything that's happened in their lives. And there are no temples left to protect. Like, his way of life has been taken away. And then by the end of the movie, especially with spoiler for Rogue One. Spoilers.
Did we spoil it before?
I don't think so.
I don't
But
think so.
when Chirrut passes away, it feels like a part of Baze was gone too, and he now understands that even in the face of adversity, you can still accomplish very big things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
If
still
that-
think he's the only character in the story that
Because if you take
took-
Baze out, then you lose Chirrut's character development too.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying, but you don't lose all of Chirrut's character development. You just lose a little bit of it, which is where, again, I'm not saying the film would benefit from taking him out. I think he's the only one that you can argue.
You're just humoring.
Because I can argue why you could have taken him out. I don't believe that he should have been taken out. I don't believe that he is a character who wasn't integral to the plot in some form. But he's the only one that one can argue that didn't really contribute as much to the plot. Because, like, specifically, again, spoiler alert for Rogue One, the part, like, his death didn't, everyone's death accomplished something meaningful. He was the only one who, he just went down fighting. Like, Bodhi,
that
connected,
is his character, because if it wasn't for Baze, who led the charge in holding back the stormtroopers that were coming out of the base as the alarms were sounding, then those troops could have overran Bodhi when he was trying to get the comms tower up.
Is that what was happening when he died?
Yeah, because
He was defending Bodhi?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when after the bombs had went off, all the troops were going outside to fight the rebel forces, and part of that fight was Bodhi trying to get the connection up to the comms tower so that so the other guys could activate it.
Right.
And Chirrut was the one who threw the master switch, and if
Right.
it wasn't for Baze being there when the troops came out, those troops could have possibly like overran Bodhi trying to get that up.
I only saw the movie once, so when he got killed in the movie, it just looked like he walked into the line of fire. That was what I saw.
Granted, everyone else died around him too, so there's not much choice left for him.
I mean, he could have fallen back. He could have defended Bodhi on the actual, like... I feel like there are other things that could have done, but he wanted to go out fighting because of Chirrut.
Yeah.
So,
Which is more character development for both of them.
which is, again...
Yeah, that's a well done ensemble movie for
Yeah.
sure.
Which is, again, like, we're on the same team here. I'm only saying that one can argue that character, and you're saying that, no, they can't argue that character, but I still stand by the fact that I think someone can argue that
I mean,
that
if
character.
you're going to say that, then you could argue that with every character and have them, except for, like, Felicity Jones's character.
Not really, because Felicity Jones, or Jin...
Yeah, Jin Erso, Galen Erso.
Like, no, I really don't believe that, because I think every other character did something super, super critical to making sure the mission was accomplished. And Baze did something critical. I'm not saying that he didn't, but it wasn't as critical as everyone else. Like, K2SO defended them and literally he killed like fucking 30 stormtroopers in there.
Yeah.
Like a shit ton, and basically kept and blew the door so Jin and Cassian could go and get the plans. Then Jin and Cassian got the plan, so that was their whole thing. Then you had Bodhi who plugged in the thing and sent the transmission. Then you had Chirrut flip the switch, and you had Baze who defended. Oh, am I missing someone?
Not that I can
Baze
think
is
of.
the last one, and he was basically running defense for them. Which, like, I'm sorry, but like
Your offense is only as good as your defense.
yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree, and I'm not saying take out Baze. I think he was an awesome character, and I liked him a lot. He's probably one of my favorite ones in the movie. But I'm just saying, like, his actual.
If you took out the other characters, then you could have fallen their duties onto someone else.
Could you have? Really ask yourself, are you just saying that?
Chirrut can. Like, he just had to throw the master switch. There were other troops,
That
other
could've thrown the
rebel
master
eyes
switch?
that could have thrown the master switch too.
Yeah. But it was also like as
K2SO.
soon as they walked out, they were getting shot. Like his intunement with the Force is what allowed him to flip that switch, right? I mean, right?
One could argue.
That's what I got
He was
from
the
it.
only character
Yes.
in the entire film who was in tune with the Force besides Darth Vader.
Yeah.
True.
What was Cassian doing there? Because Jyn could have gotten the plans herself.
And she did. She
Yeah.
did get the plans herself, but she was about to get killed by what's his nuts? Where's Bane?
Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn was Krennic was about to kill her, and then he stopped her from getting killed, basically. So,
He stopped her from getting killed so that they can die together.
yeah, pretty much. But
I mean, it's all in the writer because Jyn could have taken him herself.
yeah, I mean,
Because she's a fucking badass.
True.
true. Apparently, the rewrites were to make sure everybody died.
Yeah. Because at first they didn't think that Disney would let them kill everyone off, but then everyone who saw the draft was like, shouldn't they all die? I was like, wait,
you mean we can do that?
Yeah, we can do that? Really? This was like, yeah, like it makes more sense if everyone dies. Like, okay, let's
kill
go.
Let's
everyone.
do it.
Yes, let's go with the plan that we wanted to do all along.
Yeah. But again, I'm just saying that character above all. So like, here's the thing.
Well, let's talk about how about like an ensemble movie that you would remove characters from instead of
Suicide Squad. But we've already talked about this millions of times.
What
so
about
I don't want to retread.
what about Apocalypse?
Nightcrawler could have been removed. Jubilee could have been removed.
Yeah.
Cyclops could have been removed.
I mean, every character in that mansion could have been removed.
Quicksilver could have been removed.
How about Batman versus Superman? Wait, you think all of those characters could have been removed and the movie would have been fine?
They could have given those. They literally could have pawned those characteristics onto other characters. So like the big moments, like you couldn't have taken out Jean Grey. Granted, it's been a while since I saw that movie, so I might need to watch it again. Nightcrawler really was totally pointless. Loved him. It's my favorite X-Men, but I honestly like, aside from like a few cool bits in battle, he really didn't do anything catastrophic. Wolverine could have been totally cut. There's a lot of characters in Apocalypse where you could have just given that character's moment to another character and develop that character more.
Yeah, agreed.
What do you think about
I
X-Men?
think, Nightcrawler could have been removed. Jubilee should have been removed. Like, if they were going to cut out as much as they cut out, they should have just cut her out completely. Like, it was stupid.
But they cut Anna Paquin's parts out.
Yeah, which I saw
Days
that.
of Future Past.
That was Days of Future
Yeah,
Past.
that was
Yeah.
Days of Future Past.
Apparently it was better? It was a better cut?
Not in my opinion.
Oh, somebody was telling me that it's a way better cut, and I was like, what?
How did that add to the story?
So the road cut is, so you remember when Wolverine freaks out at one point and slashes Kitty?
Yeah.
So at one point in the movie, Magneto and Iceman in the future go to get Rogue from the X Mansion, and the X Mansion's like people don't go there anymore. Like it's the future, and that place is
Okay.
like you just don't go there. It's a trap. And so they go to save her from the mansion, and then she takes on Kitty's powers and finishes the job. So essentially but like what that does is essentially make Kitty's character seem a little weaker, that she can't finish the job. And like
Did she
that's
die in
literally
that cut?
no, she doesn't die.
She was just injured.
And that's all that Rogue does. And so
That's
like it's
it?
yeah, that's it. And so it's more so like a little nod to the first movie where they were like road trip buddies, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But like it doesn't really add. There was a really, really dope scene where you see old Magneto from the future retrieve Rogue, and that's where Iceman dies instead of back at the place where everyone else.
Okay.
So that's where Iceman dies, and then when they're showing Magneto get Rogue from the X Mansion, it's showing past Magneto get his helmet back, and like the way those two sequences are edited together, I admit is really fucking cool. But like the Rogue
It didn't change the story.
didn't really change the story at all.
That sounds pretty cool, though. I kind of want to see it. I really like Days of Future Past a lot,
Days of
actually.
Future Past is dope.
I actually would not remove any character, in my opinion, from
neither.
Days of Future Past. I think that, I mean, Trask was a little bit lackluster. Like, he didn't really do too much, but I also don't know if he really needed to. To be
I don't think he
perfect-
needed to. He just He was there
enough.
to set up for the next movie.
Yeah, he was literally there to set. Magneto was the bad guy. I think they
Yeah.
marketed Trask as the bad guy, but Magneto was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Again, I can say that I kind of wish they would just give Mystique's, entire story arc to a different character. There's like so many awesome X-Men, so many, and like female X-Men too. Why? Why are we so fixated on Mystique?
Yeah, do Rogue right instead.
Yeah, or like I
Do
mean,
Rogue right.
or if you want to just do a character from the past, like make it a past character, like you could so easily do that.
you could do the yeah.
What if it was? What if it was Storm?
wish Mystique had a
Oh no, I guess she
costume.
was her age. So, but there's still like a lot of characters you could have put in that position,
Yeah,
and
there
would
are
have been
plenty.
more interesting than freaking Mystique.
Agreed.
Man, I just
There's
don't
nothing
care about
that-
that character.
It's not. It's
Please
not
give Mystique a costume, guys.
for real.
Instead of looking like a salamander.
A
I
salamander.
don't think salamanders look like
A
that.
blue salamander,
Okay.
scaly lizard, blue lizard.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
But yeah, an ensemble movie that
And I feel like with Lord of the Rings, every character really mattered.
Yeah.
Like, they affected the story some way.
yeah.
Like
I
pivotal moments.
I
Yeah.
think that what they should have done with the past, so these new X-Men movies, is I felt that in the original trilogy, Jean Grey, Wolverine, not even Jean Grey, honestly, more like Wolverine, Xavier, and Magneto are the only characters that got real development. So in my opinion, what they should have done is use the same characters that they use in that trilogy, like Storm and Jean Grey, just like younger, and develop them more. Like that's what I would have done. But what do I know? I'm a bear. I suck the heads off fish.
You keep saying that.
What is that? Okay.
Man, bear,
I think
pig.
they were trying to set that up with X-Men Apocalypse and say like, you have the new X-Men class, and that's Cyclops,
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, Quicksilver,
Like literally the original
Jean Grey.
lineup.
Jean Grey. Yeah, like you have like the original lineup, and like and then
So
some.
that means they're gonna have a new trilogy.
I mean, I think that's what they were trying to set up. They were trying to set that up, but I don't think people liked Apocalypse very much. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
And most of those people are out of their contracts.
Dude, what if they reboot it again? Like,
Well, they're going to be doing, from what I understand, they're doing this thing called New Mutants. I don't know what that is. And they're doing more Deadpool. And one would hope that they do Gambit, but I'm not fucking holding my breath for that.
dude, Gambit is supposed to be in post right now with the original slate.
No, what the original say is supposed to be out on DVD by now.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. It was supposed to come out like at
In
the end of
October.
this. Yeah, it was supposed
Holy
to come out at the
crap.
end of this year or 2016. It's not this year is not. It's not this year anymore. This year is referring to last year.
True.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We'll never get it.
Yeah, no, Gambit's not gonna happen. We'll
Nope.
see.
It's not gonna happen for another 10 years.
True.
So there's
We'll
a
see.
rumor right now that's saying that Deadpool will be in Logan. Now, before everybody was like, "That's not happening," you start typing on your keyboards. Hold on a second, guys. Ryan, I already know. Ryan Reynolds said that it's not gonna happen. He's like, he's not in that movie. He said it. He's like, I'm not in that movie.
Yep,
Let's
he
just
said
nip
it.
nip
Hugh
that in the
Jackman
bud.
said it, and James Mangold. All three said it.
Yeah. But, we've been told a lot of things in the past by
True.
different actors who said different things. I remember a time where Khal Drogo said he wasn't playing Aquaman, posting pictures on Instagram with pitchforks and shit. And
Yeah.
I also remember a time where that one guy said he wasn't Khan. Freaking Benedict Cumberbatch.
Gilbert Cumberdale.
Looking at you, J.J. Abrams.
I'm not Khan. Movie comes out.
I
I'm
am
Khan.
Khan.
He says the words, I am Khan.
Yeah.
I am Khan. So we know actors are,
He's not
they're paid
actually
to
Khan.
lie.
He's playing Khan.
Yeah. They're paid to lie in these sort of things. So He's probably not going to be in the movie. There's a 99% chance he's not going to be in the movie. It doesn't make any sense. Tonally, it makes no sense.
But if he were, how would you do it?
But if he were, I thought of an idea of how this could work. Okay, so this takes place in a like post-apocalyptic future with only several mutants who are alive, right? And X-23, I guess, is supposed to be like the next big mutant, right? The I don't know, the children of men baby of mutants.
The golden child.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was like, what if there was like a mutant resistance that Wolverine refused to join, and it turns out at the end of the movie we find out it's Cable and it's like other characters like that, Bishop maybe. So we see these characters, and this could be like a post-credit scene. Seriously, it doesn't even need to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's a post-credit scene where Cable's like, this is the worst future where there's no mutants around. We have to do something. So
And this is Keira Knightley as Cable.
yeah, Keira Knightley as Cable goes basically in a post-credit scene, goes back in time, walks up to the closest mutant that he can find, which is Wade Wilson, and is just like, we need to save the future. And Deadpool's like, insert fart joke here, insert dick joke here. And that's how the movie ends. So like, it doesn't even need to tie into Logan can still be a complete film, but then in a post-credit scene, they introduce Cable and have him going back in a time to meet Deadpool. Now you already set up Deadpool and Cable because now we understand the future that Cable came from. We see this drab, dire, serious-ass movie.
Yeah.
And see this character, like imagine Wolverine coming from Logan and talking to Deadpool from the Deadpool movie. Like, the juxtaposition of the two is perfect for
Yeah.
comedy gold because it's giving context to why this character is so overtly serious and this character is like just screwing around the entire time,
Just
making dick
not.
jokes. And I think that would be so freaking cool if they
Yeah.
did that. Like,
I would love to see them.
How would Cable go back to present day?
I feel like it could be an offhanded line of dialogue. I mean, time travel was kind of possible in Days of Future Past. Maybe they found another way. I mean, it is in the distant future. The guy's got a robot hand.
That's true.
Robot
It's
hand.
in like the 2020s.
2020s?
That's what I read.
What?
That's what I read, but I don't know how to read, so I could have
Maybe
read
the
wrong.
late
How old is
2020s?
Xavier in present day?
I don't know.
I thought it was implied like he was early 60s, right? So if it's in 2020,
He looks like he's over. He looks like he's 100.
Jeez.
He does, doesn't he? He looks hella old.
not to me.
He looks like he's in his 80s to me.
Yeah.
So that makes
How
sense.
old is Patrick Stewart in real life?
I don't know.
70 something.
I mean, if Wolverine has been, if Logan,
Patrick
if Hugh Jackman has been playing Wolverine for almost 20 years, that would make sense. If Xavier is like in his 80s, in what's it called, Logan?
Yeah.
Well, X-Men 1 takes place in present day, right? At present day at the time. So it took place in 2001, right?
So
2000,
Patrick
I
Stewart
think.
is 76.
Patrick Stewart is 76. He does not look as old as he does in Logan.
Yeah, no,
He
like,
looks way older in
Yeah,
Logan.
they both look like old men in that
Yeah.
movie.
Like
I
Logan
mean,
looks
Patrick
like
Stewart looks great for 76.
he does look great
That's
for
amazing.
76. But okay, so if it was 2020 and he's 76 right now and
Man,
the
he
years
is 76.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. He's still a working actor.
and a great one too.
Yeah.
So he's 76 years
Fantastic.
old in 2016, right? So if it was 2026, he'd be 86. Does he look 86?
Yeah, he looks 86 to me.
I mean, I can buy it, I guess.
Yeah.
But how old does that make Wolverine?
He's been around for a while.
But we see the
We also see him in his past.
Was the future in Days of Future Past an alternate future? Like it was an alternate present?
Then what?
So, like, was that an alternate version of 2014? Because that's
I
when
thought
that
it
movie
was
came
implied
out, right?
that it was. That's how they were able to reset all like plot holes and stuff.
For some reason, I thought that was like future.
Yeah, I thought I was under the impression that was the future as well.
Because you see,
For Days of Future Past.
yeah,
Yeah.
Logan has gray hair on the side of his head. His gray hair on the side of his,
Yeah.
like above his ears. So he didn't have that in X-Men 3, which is I think that came out 2008. So I
Is
guess
this
that
a
makes
continuity issue, or is it just plain?
I think it's that we just need to Google it and figure out what the real timeline is instead of guessing. Because
Okay.
I think right now we're guessing, and I would have looked it up by now if my phone wasn't dead.
Wait, so you're saying X-Men 3
Yeah.
had Wolverine in the future?
No. X-Men 3 had Wolverine in present day. That was like 2008 that movie came out, right?
Yeah.
So that movie came out in 2008.
So in the timeline of the movie, that's present day. So,
Yeah.
or did it take place in the future? Because I'm assuming that these movies, if it's taking place present day, it's taking place in the year that it came out.
Yeah. I think the X-Men movies have taken place in like the numbered movies. X-Men 1, 2, and 3 took place in chronological order in real time.
Yeah.
But then X-Men Origins Wolverine obviously took place during like the 70s and 80s and like Civil War time, 1800s. And then you have First Class, which is during the 60s. Days of Future Past, which is the actual past portion, is in the 70s. Then
It says in the future, robots known as Sentinels are exterminating.
okay, so it's the future.
So,
It's
yeah.
for sure the future.
Yeah.
For Days of Future Past? Yeah.
So they're in the future. So that means
So it turns out that Days of Future Past actually it fixed the film universe, but totally fucked up the future.
It fixed the past, but it fucked up the future.
Even worse. And think about it. Like they had Sentinels going and killing everybody.
Yeah.
And that still kind of ended up happening. It just wasn't Sentinels. Like, we don't know why all the mutants are dead, but, like, all the mutants are dead in that.
True.
So, like...
I mean, the movie hasn't come out, so we don't know if
No, it
Sentinels
doesn't.
are there.
I'm excited to talk about it when it does come out,
Yeah,
but...
me too.
Yeah. But what were you saying about Wolverine and his gray hair?
He had, like, gray hair on the side of his head in Days of Future Past, in the future.
When do we see him in the future, in Days of Future Past?
When they went into his brain. They went into... Well...
But I thought that was him actually being there and not, like, his future self.
No, so all of Magneto and Charles and Wolverine and Storm and Colossus, that whole
Yeah.
section takes place in the future where Wolverine has gray hair. And then when he goes back in the past, he no longer has gray hair. Mm-hmm. He just has like little gray hair.
contrast.
Oh. Wow. That just totally clicked for me right now.
Now, for a normal human, it would make sense if, 6 years were to pass for him to have gray hair on the side of his head. But Wolverine ages incredibly slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So if he ages slowly,
So how far into the future are we talking about in Days of Future Past?
Yeah, it just says
according to
future.
Wikipedia, it doesn't say.
Maybe that future is way into the future, like further into
Exactly.
the future than what Logan is taking place in. Because the future that Logan is taking place in, it's in the 2020s. So, I mean,
No, that's impossible because look how fucking old he is in Logan compared to how young he looks in Days of Future Past. It looks like 20 or 30 years have gone by. If you look at him in Days of Future Past, he looks like a normal dude. He looks like Hugh Jackman with gray in his hair. And then you look at him in Logan, and he straight up looks 80 years old. But Wolverine ages slowly. He just aged up right away?
I don't know,
I
the way-
guess the thing in Logan is that his healing factor is slowly starting to deteriorate, like declining, not deteriorate. That sounds wrong. It's like it's declining.
That would make more sense if his healing factor started like kind of failing on him. That would make more sense. I would buy that. I feel like we're asking a lot of questions, but it could just be answered by the simple plot holes.
plot holes. Or we haven't even seen the movie
Yeah.
yet. The movie's not even out. So we're all making this judgment based off of the teaser.
This is going to be the first time we see Wolverine in an R-rated movie. The most
Yeah.
R-rated X-Men
Yeah, that's dope. Are you sure the most R-rated X-Men? Like, 'cause
Deadpool's not an X-Men.
Okay.
There are X-Men in it.
Yes.
True, but he is not an X-Man.
He was at one point. Not in this movie.
X gonna give it to you.
He gonna give it to you.
And Colossus was trying to get him to be an X-Men the whole movie.
Yeah, dude.
Which,
That is
by the
true.
way, the recasting of Colossus was just like nobody even questioned it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think it was like addressed, but no, everyone was like, nope, don't
Dude,
care.
I just
that
have
version
to
of
say,
Colossus
even
is
the
awesome.
CG that went into Colossus for such a small budgeted movie
Yeah.
is incredible.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Like, doing stuff that is reflective in CG is one of the hardest things to do to get reflectance just right. And they pulled it off.
Yeah, they killed it.
Guys, I'm nervous about Deadpool too. I'm
Yeah.
not going to lie.
Me too.
Really?
I'm nervous.
Oh, I'm not.
I don't know if lightning can strike twice in the same spot.
True.
Especially since there are creative differences between the original team.
And they had 11 years to make the first movie. They had 11 years to work the kinks out of that script.
True.
And now Fox is like, fast track that shit. Give me that
You
money.
have a couple years. Get it done. Here's
Now
some money.
We're going to
Get her
have
done.
12 Deadpool films.
12.
Isn't that how many X-Men movies we have?
I don't think we have 12 X-Men movies, bro.
There's like 9. There's like 9.
Maybe.
That's still a lot.
So X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, First Class, Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, X-Men Origins Wolverine,
And Deadpool.
Deadpool. Which there are X-Men in Deadpool, so I
Wasn't
think it
there
counts.
supposed to be an Origins Magneto?
There's supposed to be an Origins Magneto.
There's supposed to be a Gambit.
supposed to be a Gambit. There's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like if there was going to be an X-Men Origins Magneto, Xavier, or Mystique, they were all First Class.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
all that trilogy.
I remember they were talking about like branching out and making all the X-Men, like X-Men origin films and making their own origin films.
Oh,
Then
and then
Wolverine just tanked.
Yeah, and they were just like, yeah, if Wolverine can't be successful, then there's no way anybody's going to watch Gambit or Nightcrawler. I'd watch the hell out of a Nightcrawler.
That'd be
Standalone.
dope.
That'd be dope.
That'd be hella cool.
Dude, oh my God. An X-Men Origins Nightcrawler would be so cool. Because I want to see it like a period piece.
That'd be dope.
He takes, he's like in the circus, and it's like his whole experience in the circus.
Guys, let's make it.
That'd be great. I'd love to do that. It's an amazing Nightcrawler. Want to close out?
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning into another episode. If you like the show, be sure to support us over on Patreon. Remember, the Patreon is getting upgraded. Starting January 17th, we'll be releasing a video basically doing the big Patreon announcement, kind of like what we did before, trying to let you guys know all the sweet new perks that we're doing, and also, that Patreon's going to be super awesome moving forward. We have commentary. We're going to be doing commentary of all of our old videos, all the videos prior, even the ones that you haven't seen
boy.
before. And
You're in for a real treat.
yeah, and,
boy.
And what I'm really excited about is there was a video. We just call it Lucky Charms at this point, and it was the first video that me and Noel made together. And you'll notice that me and Noel look a bit different.
Yeah. Quite.
Yeah. I look a lot douchier.
Yep.
And
man.
I just look like a totally different body type
yeah. You're a little bit more.
on the chunky side.
I wouldn't say chunky. I wouldn't say that at all.
There's a little more cushion there.
You were a full-figured male.
Full figured.
No, you look fine, man. But it's super
Yeah.
funny just looking
Dude,
back.
should we do commentary on some of our like old school projects or whatever?
Yeah, I totally think we should be doing that.
Most
Oh
definitely.
my God.
I don't have too many school projects that I think
Granted, like my school projects, I did them after or like during we were doing Nightwing, so I had already some
Yeah.
experience.
I went to school once.
Once. It didn't work out. The school.
it sucks because if you look at my early stuff, it's like awful, like just abysmal. And then you look at Jeremy's first stuff and you're like, oh, this is actually really good. And it's just like, screw
don't
you,
know
Jeremy.
about
You had
that.
like years of experience before you went to film
You
school.
went to film school before you went to film school.
We were making videos like 2
Yeah.
years before Jeremy went into the film program. So
Yeah,
it's
that
not
is
like-
true. So I learned a lot by the time I got into film school. But I still like looking at my old film school projects though, it still looks like a student film.
Yeah. I mean, it's been years. We've improved a lot, and that's one of the things. That
No, we haven't.
That's one of the things we're really excited to do because we want to look over all of our really old stuff, just to kind of make fun of it, and then we're actually going to do commentary on the new stuff as well.
Yeah.
We'll be releasing a new commentary video every single month, so. It'll start with our oldest projects that aren't even on our YouTube channel or Vimeo. You've never seen this stuff because it is that bad.
Good lord.
Oh my God, it's going to be so cringy. And it's mostly going to be you guys laughing at me. And
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh man, I wish my family had kept all the old VHS and Betacam tapes that I used to play around with. Because when I was born, my dad bought his first camcorder, and it was a huge on the shoulder mount VHS camcorder with the full size VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And then I had my uncle who had his Betacam. Oh my God, so expensive for something that sucked so bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I used to play around with that when I was a kid. I don't think we kept any of the tapes, or at least it was like written over,
Yeah.
recording Dragon Ball Z episodes.
Yeah, nice.
Are you gonna
That's
get? Are we gonna show? Are we gonna do commentary for Victor Black?
No, we probably won't do those just because looking back, those.
Or taste little?
Yeah, they were kind of tasteless.
Fair enough.
We were kids. We didn't know better. Now that we're adults, it's just like that's not really something we want to post on the
Agreed.
internet.
For sure.
It's just like they're just so stupid and unnecessarily offensive.
Yeah.
I look back and even I was offended by them. It's like, man.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you try to do everything super offensive.
You
Yeah,
just, it's the
you
shock
think,
factor.
You think offensive is funny.
Yeah, you
But-
think offensive is funny, and you feel like an adult doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not an adult. You're still a kid.
Yeah.
Guys, you don't need offensive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't say that if you're making student projects and films and stuff with your friends, do not drop the F word because
Yeah.
you haven't earned it. You haven't earned it, and I hate watching student films
Yes.
that you're just like, oh, they're just like overuse the word fuck, and it's just
Yeah,
like
every other word, every sentence. And I'm like, dude, that's not how you create tension. It's
Yeah.
storytelling. Also, my mentor, David Waldman, he says this every single festival, like every year when like the student festivals come into town for UNLV and stuff like that, for our local schools. The one thing he always says, and I totally agree, and like pushing it as a point, keep the misogyny out of your fucking student films. Like,
Please.
no. Oh my God.
Keep him out of all the
There's
movies.
so
the
many
fact that it
reasons.
needs to be said is I'm actually just like,
It's
yeah,
mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing. Go to your local student film festival one of these days, like when it comes into your town, and just count on your, if you even have enough fingers, how many of the student films will include some sort of misogyny in it. Do not do that, guys. It's not good storytelling, and it's not good for like other students growing up watching this stuff because then they think it's all right.
Yep.
And on
that's
that
not
note,
and that's not a social justice warrior thing, guys. It's
it's a decent human being thing.
It's a let's be decent human beings and properly represent people. Yeah. Yeah. Student films, man. It's just like
yeah.
to be fair, those offensive projects that I worked on, I didn't direct and I didn't write. I was just in them.
Boom.
So yep, didn't have good judgment in the roles I chose.
I mean, did you have a choice? You're a student.
No, I didn't have a choice. It was just like,
Exactly.
hey, this is the project we're getting. This is what we're making. Is everybody good with it? And it's just like, okay, okie dokie, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh man, that was really offensive after watching
Yeah.
it. But
Also, student films don't use weapons, guys. Like, do other stories. You can create action without using weapons or guns. Like, just be smart.
I don't know if I totally 100% agree with that. Like, don't use real weapons, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Don't use
Definitely
real
don't
weapons.
use real weapons.
Get permission and make sure that you let people know. Like, there's safe ways of doing it.
Yeah, but I mean, if the
And
kids
there's
just
so-
want to make an action scene, like that's what we did.
Yeah, use Nerf guns,
Yeah.
dude.
Nerf
Like,
or nothing.
Nerf or nothing. Oh, my God.
What?
Like, I don't know. There's been so many stories of accidents with kids doing student films using fake guns.
Oh my
And-
God, yeah. If you're using fake guns for your videos, shoot in a controlled environment like your house. And if you're outside of your house, which you should not be outside of your house, guys. But if you are, call 311 and let the police know that you're shooting a film. We have had police come to one of our sets because we were too irresponsible to do that. And they almost came like fully guns ablazing on us. And we were just kids. So seriously, any filmmaker I think can tell you they probably had a run-in with the cops at some point, and don't let that happen to you because you could end up getting killed because of that. You know, people are pretty trigger happy these days.
Yeah, just be safe.
Be safe,
Be
guys.
careful. Look up Slates for Sarah and look up the story behind that. Be safe, guys.
Be safe, y'all.
So, but make videos, keep making stuff, do stuff. It's 2017.
Tell stories.
Be creative.
Yeah, it's 2017. Take this time to get off your butt and focus on chasing those dreams. Do it. Do it now. I hate New Year's resolutions. I think that you should be setting goals throughout the year, but New Year's resolutions can be an opportunity for people to start setting those goals. So set small goals, start achieving them, and chase your dreams and your passion. If you don't have any big dreams or big passions, well, set aside time and figure out what it is that you want, and then start working toward that. If it's a new car, work toward that new car. If it's finding a girlfriend, well then,
Or boyfriend.
or boyfriend. If you're just finding a significant other, then I
Good
guess
luck.
take all the steps that you can do that. Put yourself out there. Be a good person. Try to meet people. Stuff like that.
Keyword,
don't
be a
creep.
good person.
Yeah, don't be a creep. But take steps to getting what you want. It's a new year, and there's dark times we live in. So you want to spend your time being happy. Do whatever makes you happy. Follow your bliss. You don't see too many people complaining and being upset about what they have in life, and it's just like you gotta chase your passion because you never know when life is going to get ripped out of your hands and the choice will no longer be yours.
Very
I
true.
think I had enough of an experience this year myself. I think we all kind of
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Baby steps. All right. Don't forget, guys, HawkTalk is moving over to Ismahawk TV starting January 17th. January 17th, magic number. We will be revealing the new studio, the two new shows, the Isma vlogs, and Off the Rails will be coming out the same week. It's going to be awesome. And on that note, follow us on Twitter. Tony's Walk on Tony. I'm at Daniel Shep. Noel's at Noel the Chef. Jeremy's at Jeremy Lee with 3 Ys. And follow us on Facebook. We love you guys. Bye. Bye.
Such a ridiculous man.
Such a ridiculous man.
Ridiculous man.
You're a ridiculous man. We forgot to say it. We didn't say it the whole episode.
Damn it.
Damn
That
it.
makes us ridiculous men.
Dude, you should have done it when we were talking about age. Should have been like, you are a ridiculous man.
Yeah, you are a ridiculous
Dude,
man.
we're trying to get ridiculous
Jeez.
men to catch on as
Hey,
a
Noel.
catchphrase.
Noel, you're a ridiculous man. Noel. You're a ridiculous man.
I know.
You had so
No.
many opportunities to drop it this
No.
episode. No.
You're a ridiculous man.
Oh my God.
You're a ridiculous
So
man.
soft.
Thank you guys.
Wow.
Just highlights? Did you put highlights in here?
Nah, man, my hair's sun kissed.
Especially when Jeremy's doing the little. He's doing his little dance.
Doing a little dance.
When you did your little dance, you made a little love. You got down tonight.
Say some shit, Tony.
Talking, testing.
Just speak at normal. Normal. Normal volume.
Danny likes to suck fruit.
Yeah,
Yep.
the test is good.
And
All right.
she can attest to that. Yep. We good?
Yeah, we're fucking good, man.
What?
I apologize.
That's what having a baby is. We knew what we signed up for. Being a parent is tough. It's a decision that I didn't make lightly.
Fucking moron.
What?
I'm so glad that I chose you, Danny. I'm really glad.
It's okay.
man.
Noel's a good baby.
Little stupid baby.
Anyway, back.
Stupid.
Let's get back on the right track. Shouty, wouna, pouty, shouty, wouna, pouty.
Okay, Danny.
Shouty wants to pouty.